All right. Peace, blessings, enough, holy, plenty, a lot of love to all our global kings and queens in the house, and also those that are joining us there on the varied YouTube channels. We just want to thank you all for making it deep dive globally changing lives. And also for those who have not heard as yet, or didn't hear before, or have not heard that our own brand ambassador, Marty DeGama, passed this afternoon. So we do give condolences to the family, in spite of whatever happened or didn't happen. We do send condolences to his family and his friends and loved ones. So moving right along, we'll be heading into our on passive deep dive, globally changing lives. And before we do, we're just going to offer a minute of silence for those who, um, you know, mourning the loss of um, King Marty DeGamo. All right, thank you all very much. And so, running right into our program, we are going to now have In It to Win It by our own Lerato Shadari, Queen Lerato Shadari. And of course, this song has been gifted to us from the onset, and we have been using it in deep dive, globally changing lives for all the life of Deep Dive, which is over 4 years now, and still running without any stop, without any itch. Well, with a few itches, but has been running non-stop. So we do thank all the persons who have been with Deep Dive, and we thank you all very much for all that you do. So without any further ado, it is In It to Win It. Queen Loretta Shadari, international, global singing, recording artist. Over to you.
True.
next up is on passive.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Lorato Shadari. Right, and of course, moving right along once again, we have none other than our mindset, and mindset is very, very important, especially to me. And I have realized that persons are realizing that the mindset is very important because it not only take care of business, but it also take care of you in life. From once you are alive and living, you need to have a right mindset. You need to have a positive mindset in every area of your lives. All right. And so none other than our own queen, and most definitely with a naturopathic type of view, not the medicine, not the MD, but the ND, which is naturopathic doctor, Queen Jacqueline Warner, inspirational speaker, entrepreneur, long before on passive, of course, talk show host, and a grandmother of nine children, nine children. Oh my goodness! I listen. I I had one daughter, one dege daughter, and Queen Jacqueline Warnagan, nine grandchildren. My goodness. All right, wonderful. And so today, she'll be looking at most cancer are preventable. Most cancer are preventable. And so without any further ado, our own naturopathic doctor, Queen Jacqueline Warner.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Derek. Thank you for allowing us to be part of this amazing platform. And thank you for being such an amazing leader. We thank you for all that you do. And we congratulate you once again on your union with Mrs. Clark, Miriam Clark. So we thank Ashma Farah for allowing this amazing, for us to be part of this amazing opportunity. And I just want to thank God for our patience. And thank, for guiding us and ordering our steps throughout this journey. I want to thank the brand ambassadors for always supporting and showing up. We appreciate each and every one of you. And we want to thank our Heavenly Father for making this all possible, because without Him, none of this would be possible. He's the God that changed impossible into possible. What an amazing Father that we have, spiritual dad. Anyway, I'm going to just say, my condolences goes out to Marty DeGarmo, family, friends, and business partners. And may his humble soul be at peace with our Heavenly Father. Yes, tonight we're going to be talking about most cancers are preventable, and why? Because cancer is on the rise, and we never seen it like this before. We heard of it, yes, but not to the extreme. It looked like it's more epidemic. Everybody's getting sick, and when they do go to the hospital, they find out they have cancer. And it all falls upon each and every one of us individually, because the toxins do exist, and we can't control all of it, but what we can control, that's the part that we need to control. So tonight we're going to learn a little bit about the introduction regarding what I have here before me: the power of oxygen, the most important nutrient, within our bodies. The metabolism of cancer, Warburg's discovery. It was a genetic versus lifestyle, the everyday foods that feed cancer. We just zap through them because we know most of them already. So we're going to get started. Cancer is not primarily genetic. You know, we will think, well, my mom had it, my dad had it, most likely I'm going to get it too. Well, walk away from that. Take that out of your mind. It is a metabolic disease. There's a famous doctor, I guess, actually he's a Nobel Prize winner, Dr. Otto Heinrich Weinberg. I think he's a German psychologist. And he'd actually discovered over a century ago, not just yesterday, not just 10 years ago, but actually over a century ago, that about 80% of cancers are preventable. So why are we dying of cancer today? His key finding was when oxygen itself, supply to the cell, is disrupted and blood becomes acidic, the metabolism shifts from cellular respiration, which is healthy oxygen-based energy, to fermentation, which is oxygen-free acidic energy. So you know when something is fermented, they do that with alcohol, they do that with beer, they do that with mucha, those things that we drink in mucha or ucha in those energy or drinks in the supermarket, you know. So that's where the fermentation comes from, because no oxygen is needed for that. Okay. And healthy cells use oxygen. Cancer cells use fermentation. So the power of oxygen. Oxygen is life's most vital nutrient. We could go months without food. We could probably go a week without water. But only 3 to 4 minutes without oxygen, our life will not exist. We will be dead. Now, oxygen should flow into the mitochondria, which is the energy powerhouse of the cell. That's where the oxygen usually hangs around the hemoglobin. Okay? So when the mitochondria become dysfunctional, cells lose energy and they switch to fermentation, and cancer begins to thrive. And you know, cancer just doesn't come just like that. It actually takes place 10 to 15 years. So it's not something that just happened yesterday or 2 years ago. No. So here we go to the metabolism and cancer. Metabolism is energy, actually. It is how the food becomes fuel. Okay. And the mitochondria use the glucose to make the ATP, which is our body's energy units. Okay. But when the system breaks down, the food is not fully metabolized. Lactate builds up, acidity rises, and the cancer cells flourish. Remember, we are cellular people, and it starts from the cell. So we don't feed our cells the right stuff, then we got cells that are not healthy. And unhealthy cells makes unhealthy tissue. Unhealthy tissue makes unhealthy organs. And what you think comes? Unhealthy us. So you see, it starts from within. It don't start from the outside in. When we eat, we feed within. We don't feed outside. So we have to be so careful. Fuel matters. Our food determines the health of our metabolism. Okay. Now, Warburg's discovery, cancer cannot thrive in an oxygenated environment. Cancer cannot thrive in an alkaline environment. This means prevention is possible through oxygen, alkalinity, and wise food choices. Now, genetics versus lifestyle. Only 5% of cancers are truly genetic. 5% only. And that's genetic components. Okay. Genes are switches also. You can turn them on or off by lifestyle, by diet, and environment. Family history is not a guarantee. It's just a wake-up call. Okay. And the everyday foods. And we know them. And you probably said, well, why are they in the supermarket? Why are they in the shelves? Why? Because when they created these toxins, they only looked at them individually. They didn't look at them as a whole. You know, they didn't think like if you're putting in when you look at the box of cereal or any, a can of vegetables and you read all the ingredients, especially cookies, they have so much, sometimes I pick up the stuff. I said, oh my God, you got so much for me to read. Let me just put you down because it's too much. If it takes all that to make you taste good, then you're not good, So they do all that and they only focus on the one toxin alone. They overlook the rest of the toxins. So it's individually, they're not looking at when we put all these toxins, what the side effects are going to be. And not talking about your household products that you use around the house. Those are chemicals too. So that's another added dose, And then you talk about your environment, what's in the air. So we give ourselves 2 to 3 doses of toxins daily, every day. Okay, so processed and refined meats. That's all hot dogs. That's all bacon. That's all hamburgers. That's those deli meats. When I walk in the supermarket, sometimes the deli meats is all there. People just eating cold cuts. A quick, let me just get a sandwich and I'm good to go. But we don't know that those things are carcinogens. Actually, they have sodium nitrates and they got nitrites and they got all these preservatives to keep them fresh. Once you open them, just like Publix, once they open the meat, they have to toss it. They have to throw it. They cannot use it the second day. It starts to ferment. It starts to grow that fungus and bacteria on it. And we smell it and we can see it because it's slime. It's already turned to slimy with a white film on it. I know. Okay. And these are classified as group 1 carcinogens, same as cigarettes and plutonium and uranium. These are all cancerous, widely eaten daily, given multiple toxic doses throughout the day. And then we want to know, where did it come from? I didn't do this. I didn't do that. The first thing they ask you when you go to the doctor after being diagnosed, did you smoke cigarettes? But cigarettes is not the only culprit. If it was, we could just wipe it out. Most of us will be healthy. But it's the food, the processed and refined meats, the refined sugars, and you know them, high fructose corn syrup is in almost everything. You find them in your sodas, your candies, your baked goods, your cereals. Cancer cell feeds on sugar and ferment it quickly. I remember when the ambulance came to get my sister, and the paramedic said, cancer thrive on sugar. So it's a known fact. We don't have to go and do research to figure that out. Everything we buy in the supermarket has tons of sugar. When you're supposed to have like 2 to 3 grams the most, imagine if you're supposed to have 2 to 3 grams a day and you pick up a bottle of soda that says it has 28 grams of sugar in it. And then later on, you're probably going to have another soda. And maybe an ice cream or a pastry later on in the evening. Cancer loves sugar. And it loves the unhealthy sugar. So we got to learn to take the good and leave the bad where it's at. Sugar creates acidity. It suppresses the immunity and it fuels tumor growth. You know, I just had a business partner tell me that, you know, a friend of hers has a tumor in his head. He has a tumor somewhere else. And sometimes it comes from us not taking care of ourselves the majority of the time. The white flour and refined carbohydrates. These are things that we hear over and over and over. Bread, pasta, pastries, crackers, stripped of nutrition, quickly turn into sugar in the body. It spikes insulin. It is driving inflammation and cancer cell growth. We got to get it into our heads. We got to get it into our mindset that this is causing havoc. And sometimes right within our families and friends and business partners. And we notice artificial sweeteners, aspartame, saccharin, sucralose is marketed as diet, you know, or sugar-free or zero. But it disrupts the metabolism and it stresses the liver. Then you have a liver problem. They call them stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Dialysis lasts. It's linked to headaches, neurological issues, and potential carcinogenic effects. The hydrogenated oils, the trans fat. Read your label. It tells you on there. You can't sue nobody because you know why? They're so smart. They put it there on the label. It's up to you to read it. You can't say, well, I'm going to go sue Heinz, you know, or Quaker Oats or any of those people because they have it on the label, even very small, even some Jewish products. You will think, well, oh, maybe their stuff is a little better because you will think they eat better and so forth, kosher. And when you pick up their stuff, it's genetically modified. It went through a process. When you pick a fruit from the tree, the only process it goes through is the minerals from the earth. And you pick it from the tree. It has no herbicide, no pesticide, and you can eat it from the soil that you are familiar with, not the ones that you're not familiar with. Okay? And these hydrogenated oils are found in margarine. People think margarine is butter. Margarine is margarine. Shortening, like Crisco. And lard. Fried fast foods. And packaged snacks that you give to your kids because it has they put a little fruit in there to make it look good. Make you think, I'm giving my baby something healthy. Those snacks are dangerous. And we're killing our own selves and our families. And we don't realize it. Highly processed create oxidative stress. It inflames our cells and it damages the mitochondria, a known factor in heart disease and cancer. Don't talk about farm-raised fish. I mean, there's some places I know in Burkina Faso, I know they're farming some fish, but they're probably doing it differently. They're doing it through the river or whatever. But these things have tanks, and the most bacteria and and fats is in those tanks. And the fish is probably eating off its own feces. So they are fed on natural diets. They are injected with antibiotics and raised in a contaminated waters. And we've never been to any of them but farm raised. You think it's better than the ocean? It's better than the waters that God created, even though they infect those too by dumping their filth in them and the plastics. Accumulate toxins like PCBs and dioxins, both linked to cancer. Why you think cancer is like a vine running through the earth? More than a vine, it's almost like a river. Lacks the healthy omega-3 balance of the wild-caught fish. Wild-caught fish. You go in the supermarket, they're supposed to label them. If you don't see no labels, don't buy it. Because if you got to ask, that means it's not there. Simple as that. Don't fool yourself. Don't deceive yourself. Dairy products, they're corporate. They create mucus, the same mucus that Dr. CP talked about. They're loaded with growth hormones, antibiotics, and casein protein. They increase the IGF. That's one hormone, which it stimulates cell growth, including cancer cells. Also, acidic forming in the body, these dairy products. You know, it always reminds me when I look at the movie The Alien, and when he opened his mouth to eat his prey, and all that slime and acid is there. That's what's helping him to digest the human body, the acid. Just think of it, you know. Then we got alcohol, who we said last week was not our friend. It breaks down the acetaldehyde is a toxic chemical that damages the DNA. It's strongly linked to cancers of the liver, the breast, and the colon. We're not saying you can't have a drink now and then, but some people drink it daily, and not only daily, throughout the entire day. Not just one drink today and the next one tomorrow. 3 and 4 of them a day. And they're supposed to stand strong. No, we can't. Alcohol creates inflammation and it weakens the immune system. Don't talk about the chips that we love, the potato chips, the fries, and the burnt foods. You know, cooking starches at high heat, deep frying, grilling, forms acrylamides, a cancer-causing compound again. You know, I was walking from the supermarket the other day and I could smell the oil that I think it was a McDonald's close by. And I could smell the oil and I said, Lord, that oil is no good. I always say when you start doing the right thing, you will know the wrong thing. But if you keep on doing the wrong thing, you will never know what's right. And it will always be right to you. And this chemical, this cancer-causing compound is also found in potato chips, French fries, and even charred barbecue meats. And don't talk about the canned and processed foods. You know, those cans contain the BPA, that's bisphenol -A. That's a chemical that disrupts the hormones and increase cancer risk again. Maybe also high in sodium, and which we know because when I read the labels and I see the sodium, I just put it down. It's too much sodium. And then you worry thinking it's only your table salt. You might not even be using the right table salt. You got to research what you be putting in our bodies. We got to question it. It got apps that you can use now. You don't have to read the label, just point your phone to it and it tells you if it's good or bad. It gives you the best out of the bad. You know, many are also high in sodium, preservatives, and additives that stress the body. And I'm just going to conclude and say, you know, cancer does not develop overnight. It takes 10 to 15 years to form. And so when we get to that age and we're like, why am I sick? What is going on? It's years of abuse. It's years of not saying, let me check. Is this good for me? Let me find out. Prevention begins now, not after you're being diagnosed. Because you know why? You'll be going backwards. But if we start today, we got a better chance of a better tomorrow. By avoiding cancer, feeding foods, because that's what they feed. They feed cancer. And oxygenating the body. And keeping the blood alkaline. We can create an environment where cancer cannot thrive. So I hope this topic brings some insight. And, you know, they always say the light is at the end of the tunnel. And I hope that there's light at the end of the tunnel for each and every one of us. Because like it's said, prevention starts now. It don't start once you're diagnosed. This message is not for the person that been diagnosed or the person that has cancer. It's for everybody because it's going to affect everybody. Children, babies, children, youths, adults, grandparents, everybody. So it's not for a particular people or a particular race. It's for everybody. And we got to learn to take heed when we're able to make the changes. Because like I said last week, we don't want to be a burden because people can't handle burdens very well. Okay, so I thank you again. My name is Jacqueline Warner. It's a pleasure to bring the information that I myself need. So I thank you again and enjoy the rest of the webinar.
All right. Wonderful.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. Thank you very, very much. Queen Naturopathic Doctor Jacqueline Warner.
Thank you.
Really appreciate. Yes, cancer can be cured. Many cancer can be prevented. But you see, a lot of persons eat to live. Or I should say, a lot of persons live to eat. Live to eat. They just eat, no matter what it is. But we should eat to live. Don't live to eat. Eat to live. All right? And so don't just put everything that come across your mouth, in your mouth. Basically. All right? And you will be better off, really and truly. Because if it don't reach in, then you don't need to take it out. You don't need to take out something that is not in there. So don't put it in from the get-go. All right? And you see, God can restore if we are faithful. Let us be faithful so that He can restore our health back to where it's supposed to be, or near to where it's supposed to be. All right? Wonderful, because majority of disease can be cured. Majority of diseases can be cured. All right, but you have to be willing to do what is needed to be done. All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Jacqueline Warner.
You're welcome.
That was awesome. All right, so Queen Dr. Benny, I know that Queen Dr. Benny want to say something, especially on this topic. Over to you, First Lady Queen Dr. Benny.
Oh, thank you so much, King Dr. Derek, for giving me this opportunity. Uh, Before I proceed, I want to really welcome everyone here. Thank you all for coming. And as you know, in JW, I want to say there is no one like our Heavenly Father for bringing us together this evening. Uh, Despite the fact that our brother is gone, um, I would say it is with a deep sorrow that I extend my heartfelt condolences on the passing of our beloved brother.
Oh,
We have lost not only a visionary, but also a guiding light whose dedication, wisdom, and compassion touches all of us. Brother Marty's legacy will continue to inspire us, and the value of him instill will remain a foundation of our journey ahead. So may our honor of Brother Marty's memory by carrying forward the vision and commitment that defined his leadership. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family, especially his beloved wife, the loved ones, and all who mourn this great loss. May our brother Marty so rest in perfect peace.
yes, indeed.
Okay. Um, Queen JW, when it comes to this cancer thing, I know that it is curable. A lot of our people are suffering of this cancer because we're not obeying the rules, right? um, as we all understand that cancer is a large group of diseases that with one thing in common. They happen when normal cells become cancerous cells, and it does multiply as well as it spread, right? And your genes send the instruction now to your cells, like when to start and stop growing. For example, normal cells follow the instruction, but cancer cells ignore them. It does ignore them. And cancer is the second most common cause of death in our country, United States. But fewer people are dying of cancer now than 20 years ago. Early detection and innovation treatment are curing cancer and helping people with cancer to live longer. I notice a lot of our people, they are using sorry, they are eating food in the can, which means they don't want to cook, right? So they rather eat in the can. I don't know if they understand.
They don't.
I don't really know. And because they are lazy, they don't want to do that. Now, Queen JW, I just noticed that I have a co-worker of mine who I believe he will just buy that the green vegetables in a bag and warm it in the bag and eat it. I say, wow. I mean, they don't just want to cook. I say, no, well, it is their problem if they die, right? But I will do my best. And then you talk about sugar. If you don't know, it is very difficult, but I'm trying. Do you know you cannot believe it that well, I know that you may say I should not drink coffee, but no sugar, no sugar. So I am trying. I know that Dr. Derek will be happy this time that I am not using sugar. I'm trying. It's okay, right?
Remember, it's a stimulant. Coffee is a stimulant without sugar. The sugar is just added troubles, but it's a stimulant and it can stimulate organs that don't need to be stimulated. So you have to be very careful. I mean, try not to drink it every day.
Okay.
Maybe every other day or every week.
Oh,
It's not good to be drinking it. No.
are you serious?
Yeah, that's
Man,
another topic.
another trouble. Hey, guess what? There is a mushroom coffee that I've been drinking and just a scoop, but I don't put sugar there. But now that you say I'm not supposed to drink it every day,
No,
I'll
not
try
every
not to.
day.
I hope I should just think, make sure, don't drink every day. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just want to say, astonishing mindset. And just like King Dr. Derry said, you are our own doctor. This mindset, because he make us to understand that mindset is very important to him. We love you for that. And
Thank you.
thank
Thank
you.
you. I love
So
all of you.
you do?
Of course. You're my brothers and sisters.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you, King Dr. Derek, for the opportunity.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. All right, so moving right along, is there anyone else that want to say something? All right, I guess not. All right. So the raise hand supposed to be in the center top of your screen on the toolbar. The toolbar is at the top with meeting. So if you look at the top in that middle section where you have mic, camera, speaker, raise, and view, right? It is raise. That raise hand is right there. So you can actually raise your hand. All right. So, okay, moving right along. We do have another presentation, and of course, this presentation is going to be done by none other than our King, Timothy Ferguson Jr., right?
Mhm.
And of course, you'll be looking at the concept of the financial needs analyst, the concept of the financial needs analyst. All right, that is a heavy duty topic, of course. And so let us get a pen, paper, um, chalkboard, whiteboard, slate, lead pencil, crayon, whatever you need to jot down your questions or jot down your comments, because he's a trusted leader, a mentor, and personal development coach. He has extensive background in health and fitness. He's also a business and leadership development and finance for over 20 years. He has proven to be an excellent teacher, motivational speaker, drawing an attraction from his audience by the way he engaged them, unlocking long-term unanswered questions, renewing long lost hope. And of course, he's a financial specialist. And so at this time, we are going to bring to the microphone with his presentation none other than King Timothy Ferguson Jr. And if you look at the description in the YouTube, you'll actually see his website and his phone number and his contact information, and it's also on the flyer. So over to you, King Tim. King Tim. I'm
There
sure
we
I
go.
saw you.
Alrighty, yeah. Yeah, I
Oh,
needed you to unmute me. I wasn't unable to unmute myself. Thank you very, very much, Dr. Derek, for that opening. Again, it is always a pleasure and it is always an honor to come here on Deep Dive to share what I do and something that can be of benefit in some form to all of those out here who are in need. Uh, excuse me, I'm kind of the weather's changing, so it's kind of messing up my voice a little bit. Sister Jackie, I need some ginger. But I also want to say, Sister Jackie, wonderful, wonderful message and word that is very, very essential. That I wish more people heard what you shared, because it is these things here that people need to hear to really help them unlock bad habits, and which is getting letting go of these things. And so all I can say is keep on doing it, keep on speaking. I'm in your corner.
Amen. Thank you.
So today I'm here on talking about the financial needs analysis. Now, you guys, if you guys were present a couple weeks ago, I did a presentation on time management. And just to kind of give you an idea of what that was referring to, was basically understanding that we all have a certain amount of time. We all have 168 hours of the week that we utilize it for us to be able to live our life. That incorporates the amount of time we need to sleep, the amount of time we use to eat, the amount of time we use to rest, spend time with family. And then things outside of that are matters that either involve wasting my time or investing my time. And us really wanting to identify where do I fit on that bar in terms of that. And if I'm one where I'm saying, I feel like I can't get over this hump of becoming great in what I do. How do I do that? And that is learning how to convert wasted time into spent time. Today, I'm going to talk about moving over to the financial side of things, which are finances, which is something that is a huge matter in our day-to-day, just like our time is. And what I want to share is something that I believe it is essential that each and every one of us are to have. Just like I want to take it, just like if you having a doctor, a general practitioner, each and every one of us should have a doctor. Each and every one of us should be going to see a doctor every 6 months, or going to see a dentist to getting a checkup. These are non-negotiable needs that each and every one of us has, or at least should have. In addition to that, when it comes to finances, the financial arena is this arena for most of us where we're just kind of wherever, in what we do. I kind of like what Sister Jackie said about, and how you all said about how we think and we eat for the now, and we don't think about tomorrow when it comes to how we eat. Well, it's the same thing when it comes to our finances. Usually when it comes to our day-to-day, our life, spending, bills, we're so focused in today, tomorrow, next week, next month, that we lose sight of 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road. You might hear yourself saying, or you might hear people saying, oh man, I'll get down to that time later. What I'm dealing with on my plate right now is the priority. I'll get to that later. Here's the thing. And I want you guys, to ask yourself the question, if that be you or someone how many people have you come to who said, I'm going to get to that later, and then later comes around and they still haven't gotten to it? Whether it's like, hey, everything better now? Are you getting things better in order in your finances? No, still haven't gotten to it yet. And what we must understand, that when it comes to pushing things off, guys, it stays pushed off, because everybody we all have this idea that things are going to get better. And so when things get better, then I'll take care of that. And what we have to learn is we have to learn how to handle things in the manners and where they're at, and not rely on things in the future, because we don't know the day of tomorrow. And so usually this is the reason why most matters, we're in the same position we were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, today. And most likely, if we're doing the same things we were doing, we're going to be in the same position, if not similar, 10, 15, 20 years from now. What's worse is the habits that I have developed and the mindset that I've had. I've inherited that from my parents, grandparents, family, people around me, and I've also passed it down to my children, and that's being passed down to my grandchildren. So now we can look at generations and saying, wow, our generations are similar. You know, we all have lives that are very similar in the flow and the way they are, and why. And some would say, well, they would give an excuse as to, well, things were different in my time. You know, you have better advantages, or things were just different. And these are all true. These are all things that are very different. But rather than looking at the differences, let's look at the objective center point of that relates to all of them. And that's when it comes to, it's to the mindset and the way we're handling things. And so I believe everybody above the age of 18, I mean, even my 10-year-old basically has this common sense. If I were to ask you the question, let's say you decided to pack up your family in a car and just say, we're going to go on a trip to the other side of the country. If you're in New York, we're going to go to California. If you're in California, we're going to go to New York. Wherever it is, would it make sense for you to just jump in the car and just drive west or drive east? You know, who would just drive and just say, let's just follow the exit sign? Nobody does that. And in today's age, what do we all have access to in our cars? A GPS. Okay. That's replaced what a regular paper map was, but basically we have a GPS where we can go ahead and we can put the address of where we're going into that GPS, and it's going to map out how we're supposed to get there, the fastest routes to get there. It'll even show us the areas where there may be detours to explain it to us why we're going different ways than where we may initially go. But and then it also tells us how long it takes for us to get there. That's the greatest thing. You can say, man, you know what? No, rather than say, oh yeah, you know, it takes about 14 hours to get there. You can map it out and it'll say, oh yeah, I'll get there in 9.5 hours. And so it removes probability from that equation, but it also removes the chances of missing exits, detours, all of these things that cost you time and money. And when I say money, I'm saying it's costing you money because you're spending more, you're on the car driving longer, so there's more gas being used, everything. So we all can agree that having a GPS to go about our physical destinations is essential, a non-negotiable. Well, each and every one of us, for the most part, that has that same agreement when it comes to a GPS, when it goes to going about a destination. If I ask this question, and I challenge you to do the same thing yourself. If you say, hey, do you have a written financial plan written on paper? 90.99% of the people are going to say no. The other 10% are going to say, I don't even know what that is. And so and as a result, we got to ask ourselves the question, especially when we look at the financial turmoil, the financial challenges that we're in, that we're not in these challenges for just no reason. And so what just as much as it is essential for every single one of us to use a GPS to get to our destination, we should also be utilizing a financial GPS for our financial destination. Think about this: working 40 hours a week, you're committed to your job, you're contributing to a 401k, some form of investment, and you're planning to do this 40 years or whatever the case, and you're saying, my intention is I'm going to live off of 80% of my income in my retirement. Okay, that's the plan. That's what all of this is being set up for. But here's the problem: most people have no clue where they're sitting at in position to that. You're 10 years into your job, 15 years into your job. Are you poised to be prepared to retire? I don't know. And guys, here's the thing: you can either find out ahead of time, or you're going to find out when you get there. And nobody likes finding out when they get there that I'm not ready. And so when it comes to our finances, like I said, I believe all of us should have a financial GPS. And here's the thing that I do. I would ask a person, just simply, I said, hey, curious, do you have a written financial game plan? They say no. Then my next question is, would you want one if it was free? To me, I've never heard someone say, no, I wouldn't. Most cases would say that all depends on, if I want one, but it all depends on my income. I can't afford it. Most financial game plans charge anywhere between $1,000, $1,500, as much as $2,000 if you go to a bank and talk to a CFP. So most people who are in some type of financial hardship can't even afford to get a financial game plan, which is where I come in and I ask the question, would you want one if it was free? I've never heard anybody say, no, I wouldn't, unless they just thought I was just teasing them or something. And so as a result, I sit down with people and explain to people, my objective in working with you is to create total financial freedom, total financial health. What does total means? Everything, not just saving in one area, but everything. And guys, what the financial needs analysis tool does, it maps out your financial health. It tells you where you are, where you're going, okay, letting you know that, hey, and then showing you if this is where you want to go. And in this case, and in this matter, this is where it's going. Are you content with that? Most people see that, they're saying, no, I'm not content with that. But then it shows you, okay, this is what you can do so that you can get on the right path. And guess what? We're showing you how to do this with what you already have. Okay, that is the greatest part, because the next thing people will say is, well, that'll be great, but man, I need to make some extra money in order to be able to fulfill this shortfall. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the GPS, taking a GPS, and when the GPS pulled up your route, it said something that made you feel like, you know what, I need to rent a van instead of driving in a car. A car is not going to get me there because I need a van. Has anybody ever had that kind of situation? You know what? The vehicle that I'm driving is not going to get me there unless the vehicle itself is in poor condition and is just not drivable. The point in my matter is whether you're driving a car, a minivan, a SUV, doesn't matter. If you're driving and you're following that GPS, you're going to get there in that same time. So I say that to say that when it comes to the financial GPS, this is not something that requires something that you need to have in order to get it written out. This is something that you do with what you already have, and it is being fulfilled with what you already have. Now, guys, you've heard enough from what I've said here. I want to show you the example of what that is now on paper. Sorry, what that looks like on paper. I'm just going to share my screen with you guys, and let's see, my entire screen. This is the new matter with me this year, so I'm just new in the platform. So okay, I hope that this works out where you guys can see this, what I'm showing as well. Okay, can you and now, okay, guys, can you see my screen right now? Because I know this is a different matter from Zoom. Up. So if somebody can tell me if they can see that.
It's coming up.
Okay.
It's spinning.
It's coming up.
It's spinning.
Still spinning.
Yeah.
Okay. Please excuse my background. I have a 2-year-old that is very tired and doesn't want anybody but me right now.
Wow, that's okay.
So
we can see your screen right
still
now.
Spinning?
No, it's up.
You do see it?
Yep.
Okay, great. All right. So guys, for those of you guys who do not know or weren't familiar with before, I'll say again, I am a representative of a personal direct independent contractor of Primerica. If you've never heard of Primerica before, that's fine. Most people don't know about us because we do not advertise. We are specifically a referral-based market company, and the company's been around over since 1977. It's older than me. We have over 110,000 regional offices in the nation, and we have average over 50,000 new clients a month because we have a heart of putting people's needs above our own, unlike Wall Street. And therefore, we're performing these and helping people receiving total financial health, starting with this tool right here that I'm showing you right now, the financial needs analysis. Now, what I'm showing you right here, guys, this is just a little dummy analysis. It's not a real couple. This is just a couple that I just made up. I've been doing these for so so long. I just said, let me just put something together with some numbers just so you can see the numbers. And so this is an example of, I sat down with I and She Money, and they have a children called Their Money. And the first thing that we're going to do here is what happens is, what I asked for them is, I asked that they provide me their household income, and if they have easy access to any of their bills, whether they're sitting around or something, they can get that to me, that I can take back with me and put it together in an itemized form, so that I can see exactly how much they owe in debt, whether that's credit cards, car notes, mortgage, whatever, and also some a breakdown of their monthly expenses. And so when they provide those things for me, I input this, and I asked a couple other questions, where they're working, if they have a retirement plan, whatever they give me, I provide that. And so what I have here is, I'm sorry, I skipped ahead of myself. Okay. This is basically what it comes together when we put together basically a blueprint for your financial house. Our commitment to you is, we want to identify areas where you can free up money for future goals and dreams, help you establish the priorities of your wealth building objectives, help you transform the blueprint for your financial security into a reality. And so this includes, the financial house includes income management. So we're here to help you fund shortfalls that we may find, saving management, debt management, and protection management. And we do all this, again, with the resources that you already have. And so here's an example of I and She saving for retirement. We have an example that they have a current income, household income of about $12,000. Their income goal is to live off of 80% for retirement. In today's money, that's $9,600. By retirement, that's $29,000. Okay. They have an estate to be left to their child. Basically, the retirement age they have for one another is age 67. They're currently 38 and age 40, and they're expected to live anywhere between 17 and 19 years from, in this case. They have a total of $31,500 in retirement savings. Total monthly savings, $1,250. Here's their employer contributions, their personal contributions. All of this is at a 3% rate of return, inflation rate, with a 8% rate of return, and that'll be a 4% during retirement. Now, here's where this starts to get where it shows. So we show them where they stand at based on the information they provided us, that in the assumptions used in this analysis, that they will not achieve their retirement income of $9,600 per month due to inflation. Their projected income will need to be $29,600 per month for the first year of retirement. So to meet their retirement income goal, they'll need to accumulate $6,727,674 by I's retirement age of 67. This is your financial independence number. Now, guys, when I show people this number right here, I say, listen, this is going to make your stomach sting a little bit, okay? You see that, because when it comes to the matters, most people, we don't like seeing our numbers on paper because we know they're bad and we know that's not what it is. And so we really don't want to look at it. So when showing them this, I let them know up front, this is going to sting, okay? But don't worry. This is just the first page, okay? And so because now we offer them some ways that we can do this. So say one way that we can accomplish this is to personally save $1,500 a month, which is about $793 more than they're already saving, and at a 12%, that's 12.7% of their income. And if they earn a lower rate of return, they may need to save a little bit more. Don't be discouraged. A shortfall is not uncommon. In addition to saving more, you can change your retirement age, income goals, Social Security rate. We can do all of these things, okay? And so what I show here now is we show our financial independence number, showing that basically these are the numbers when we put it all together for them. This is what it is, guys. I'm not telling them what we think it might be. I'm telling them that based on the numbers that they provided me, this is what things are going to look like. If you retire at age 62, age 67, age 72, that's what these numbers are going to, what they're going to look like. Okay. And this is everybody. Now, here's the results. This is something that's really interesting. Okay. We show them that right now with your total monthly savings, employer contributions, right now, you're at a $2,358,262,000 shortfall. To meet your goal at this point, is we need, to meet your goal, you need an additional $2,358,262. Okay. So I asked them, do you want to meet your goal? No one says, no, I don't want to meet my goal. Yes, I want to meet my goal. Is it possible? I wouldn't be talking to you if it wasn't. Okay. So this is basically just kind of giving some graphs showing what their goal, what they have is going to look like, and what meeting their goal is going to look like. Okay. Now here's the thing. This is where we get it. Remember, I mentioned I grabbed some information from them. I get some debts. I asked them for their bills. If you have your credit card statements, bank statement, loan statements, mortgage. I asked for these up front so they can take back. And so right now, we're looking at it. They basically present to me, they have 7 debts. They have they have 3 credit cards, 2 car notes, a furniture loan, and a new home. And guys, by the way, buying a new home takes a huge hit on your financial house. Most people don't think about it, but when you buy a new home, that shakes everything up. And so when you buy a new home, getting an update on your financial needs analysis is essential. Okay. So when we put everything together, we show them, we added everything up, that they have a total of $345,000. They're paying a total of, on average, 7% interest rate. Their minimum payments is about $33,542 a month. They pay an additional $170 based on the credit cards. So that's a total of $3,712. And basically, the projected payoff of these debts is October 2078. Wow, that is a long time. Okay. Projected interest paid is around $762,150.71. And guys, listen, I'm not showing them something that I say, hey, if you do this, this is what it's going to be. I'm showing them, excuse me, I'm showing them this is where you're headed. This is you being in that car saying we're going to New York and we're just driving. We don't know exactly how we're going to get there. We don't know how long it's going to take. We don't know the detours. Please excuse me. Nothing. This is just what it is. We showed them their debt to income ratio. Okay, they're at 30%. Most people look at the debt to income ratio and they say, hey, I'm below 50%. I can buy a home. I'm in good standing, which is correct. Yes, you are in good standing. But looking at the numbers there, saying it's going to take you, what it's going to take you changes everything. This debt to income ratio at 30% means nothing when we look at the big picture. So here's where this gets cool. Okay, we have a debt resolution result where we're saying, we're showing people that, okay, currently right now, you guys will be out of debt by age 83, your wife by age 80. To meet your goal, and what we're going to do for you with, please excuse me, with the money that you already are using, you're going to be out of debt by age 41 and age 39, okay? What are we talking about here? Let's look at the numbers here and compare apples to apples. The interest you're going to pay currently is about $762,000. The interest cost avoided, 0. It's going to take you 53 years to pay off this debt. What we're going to do with that very same amount of money, okay, you're going to pay only $156,000 in interest. You're going to avoid over $600,000 in interest. Your projected payoff date is no longer 53 years, but now 11 years, 41 years, 9 months sooner. Okay. And so when we look at their total monthly payment of $3,712, I want you guys to recognize this: the $3,542 plus the $170, which is the $170 is just the additional payments that's going on top of their Visa cards, their credit cards. They're paying $3,712 a month. On both of these guys, you see that they're paying $3,712 a month. Now you're looking at yourself, you might be saying to yourself, okay, how is that possible? Are we doing some kind of, how is that possible? Real simple. Here's the thing that I said, actually, let me move on real quickly. So don't stop here. What we're sharing to them is saying, once your debts are paid off by age 41 and 39, consider saving the $3,712 that you're paying in debts. Consider saving that, and spend that towards investments. And if you were taking that very money that you're paying towards debts and you invested that every single month, this will provide an additional $3.8 million by I's retirement age of 67. Now, you remember that financial interest number that made people sting, like, oh my gosh, that makes that sting go away very, very quickly when we're saying we're going to take your debt and turn it into an investment stream that is going to now generate more money. You'll have more than enough to be able to live off of for retirement. You'll have enough to also build a estate. And so how do we do this? Is through debt stacking. Guys, debt stacking is nothing new under the sun. We didn't create it. We're just simply utilizing it, and we're helping people do it for free. So the debt stacking tips that we're showing people is, it looks something like this. The system pulls everything together and say, okay, we're going to take your smallest debt. We're going to look at the revolving debts are going to be the first things we're going to start focusing on first, where you were paying an additional $275 and $200 on the other two credit cards. You're going to stop and you're only going to pay the minimum balance of those. And then you're going to take those two payments and add that on top of the AMX credit card that you're currently, that's going to, as an accelerated amount. Okay. Once that's paid off, it shows your projected payoff date. Okay. Once that AMX credit card is paid off, now you have that money freed up where all of that is now going towards the MasterCard. That's now $275. Once the $275 is paid off, you have $425 created that is now going towards paying off your furniture loan on top of the $140 that you're already paying. Okay. So this is accelerating. Next, that furniture loan is paid off. Now I have $565 freed up that I'm now adding onto my first finance vehicle, paying that off. Okay. And then it's the GM truck. And then lastly, my home. And that's how I get my debt freedom date, where everything is paid off in acceleration. Now, guys, here's the thing. I was talking to a client just the other day because we were talking about this, and he says, I currently have a mortgage. I got the mortgage a couple of years ago. I'm in a mortgage acceleration program. Is that okay? Is anything wrong with that? I said, no. I said, there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's great that you're in a more accelerated mortgage payoff plan. But see, here's the only caveat with this. What I told him, I said, here's the thing. You yourself are not the ordinary. You're a millionaire. Okay, this is a gentleman. He's got millions of dollars, so he can afford to make accelerated payments towards his debt. Okay, but what I told him, I said, here's the thing. I said the average working class citizen cannot afford to make accelerated payments towards their mortgage. They don't have any extra money. So what you're doing is great, but it only applies to those who have a lot of money. But so this here is something that is built for those who do not have money. This is built for those who are currently in a shortfall with their money, if that makes sense. Okay. And so I asked him the question, how many people do you know that, are in a position that they cannot take advantage of that accelerated mortgage program that you're in? I know a lot of people. And how many of them would you like to have been able to take advantage of that? I would wish all of them could. Well, guess what? Here we have it right here. And so from there, we're talking in a matter now where he's basically lining everybody up to saying, okay, to speak to him so you guys can take advantage of the very same thing that I'm able to take advantage of. But now it's no longer associated to the wealthy being able to take advantage of this. You can take advantage of this as well. And so we're showing people in the working class that you can be millionaires by retirement, and not go from there. You create an estate. Your children that is passed on. They're millionaires, takes it to become multimillionaires. The Bible says it is the will as believers that we are to create an inheritance for our children's children. Guys, it's very hard to fulfill that word working on 40 hours a week, where you may have earned over $1 or $2 million based on your salary, but you have very little or nothing to show for it after. Okay. Again, please excuse my background now. So as you see there, we're showing them now they're going to be millionaires by retirement. And now we want to look at some other things, because one of the things that we talk about is the financial house, life insurance needs. I like to call it income protection, asset protection. Why? Because, hey, if you're the breadwinner of your house, you're making $75,000 a year, and something happens to you, well, that mortgage, that car note, everything that you are living off of in terms of income, all goes awry. Okay, and so as a result, you know, and no person who cares about their family wants to leave their family in a position where their lives are now destroyed because they're gone. And here's the thing, guys, you know, we're all, our demise for us is at some point, we don't know. You know, we're all going to pass sometime. God forbid, we hope it not tomorrow. But what sense would it make if we know this to not position ourselves to protect ourselves in this matter going forward? Most people say, well, you know what? Yeah, I know I need life insurance. Just not around to it yet. Other people, I need life insurance. I can't afford it, you know. And then, you know, there's a third class of, yeah, I don't care. Now, I don't think anybody on this call falls into that third class of saying, I don't care. If you have a family, if you have love in your heart, you're not going to fall into the I don't care category. So what we're showing now basically is showing them about life insurance needs. Again, why do we need the life insurance? To be a hand protection for our investments. They're younger, the life insurance that they have, they're the asset. As they're getting older and they're building investment, those assets that they build assets, they now have what you call tangible assets. And guess what? By the time they hit retirement, they really may not need the life insurance anymore. Okay, what is insurance for? For the need, because if something happens. But so if I have the tangible assets, we're good. And in the case, you know, I don't know anybody who's on the wealthier end who says I have life insurance, except for the matters that say my intention is to give it to my family so that it can be placed on assets under management. I'll talk about that at another time. Okay. But anyway, we're giving a goal, basically showing what they need in order to provide income, giving them in total their life insurance needs, and then we provide that for them as far as what they need. And this is again what I was telling you with the theory of decreasing responsibility. As we explained to them, you know, people, you're younger, age 29, you know, you're funding things, you know, you need life insurance. Okay. But as you get older, your assets grow, your children are all grown, your education's funded, everything's paid off. You don't need the life insurance anymore. So what we do is we have the system set where you're covering life insurance, but we want to save you on any life insurance you have. Let's say you have final expense life insurance or some form of whole life IUL where you're paying $250 a month for just $100,000. You know, we can save you on the term, whereas you can get that same $250 for a fraction of the price. And the fraction, that savings is now going to go towards an investment vehicle that by the time you hit retirement is going to be way, way more than any cash value that's built up in a final expense whole life policy. Okay, so I'm going to move on a little quicker here so we can keep going. So these are just basically some, you know, matters that we put together, some life insurance results, you know, what they currently have and what they need in order to go. And guess what? Like I said, do these things also using money that they already have. So there's never an excuse of I can't afford it, or I gotta get another job, or I need a raise, or we need to work a second job to do this. No. Remember what I said when it comes to the financial GPS. Nobody's in it. When you're in a car, no one's going to ever feel insecure saying, man, my Honda is not going to get me there because it's a Honda. I need to get into a GMC Yukon instead. No, it doesn't matter. It's 4 wheels and it's got its full tune-up, oil change, and it's good to go. It's good to go. Okay. So this basically we give them a map showing basically what their personal coverage is, what they need currently is, what it is they need actually to meet their goal. And then we give them a quote provided on that, what that's going to look like. We provide you know, monthly premium tables showing them everything. Everything's numbers. When there's numbers, guess what? It removes probability from the equation and it gains credibility. Okay. Then we basically talk a little bit more about the theory of decreasing responsibility, explaining in their actual numbers are going to look like compared to, you know, what this is like their specific numbers to the later years. And then we look into the benefits we have for now. Like when it comes to insurance companies, we're the only company that offers the free financial needs analysis, We offer a free financial coach that provides solutions and guidance, offer convenient service through person and electronically. You're guaranteed insurability to age 95, affordable. We offer all of these terms. And when it comes to the other companies, a lot of these companies don't offer these things. If they do, they not to the level of what we can offer. Our objective is not to just offer something, but to offer intentionally do what everyone else is not doing, but also do what everyone else does not want to do. That is what makes us set apart. Okay, because there's now there's no competition. Okay, so yeah, these are all of the things that we all offer that you may not get when it comes with these other companies. And keep in mind, we're a one-stop shop. How many of us excuse me, how many of us like to shop at Amazon? Okay, I'm pretty sure many of us shop at Amazon. My wife loves shopping at Amazon. We're getting packages all the time. But and I know many of you grew up in a time where there was no Amazon, and if you wanted to buy clothes, you had to go shop at JCPenney's, or go to Macy's, or go to Walmart or Kmart. If you wanted to go somewhere else, you had to go different places to get them. Okay, and then you had to develop a credibility and a trust with each and every single one of these places that you shop at to determine, hey, this is where I go to get what. And so Amazon became that one-stop shop that says, hey, you don't have to go there for this. You don't have to go over there for that. You can come here and we'll give you everything. And the credibility, the trust, all of these things that are established is now with one person. And people like that more than having to establish this with multiple, with multiple other individuals. So what am I saying here? When it comes to the financial arena, my company, we are the Amazon of financial services. We're the only company that'll sit down with you. We'll talk about life insurance. Also, just an annuity, and retirement. We can talk about mortgages. We can talk about legal plans. We can talk about all of the things, and it's all under one. And you establishing a relationship with one person and doing all of these things is much, much easier than I need to establish a new relationship with the real estate agent and the mortgage broker. And then I got another guy who handles my investment over here. I talked to another guy who does my insurance. All of these different guys. And guess what? When you're trying to get them all connected, guys, it is very, very hard to get everyone connected because they're all doing their own thing. They're all busy. Most of them don't know what the other one is doing. Okay. And so, so the benefit that you have when you have a one-stop shop is you have someone who says, we can talk about this here, but oh yeah, by the way, your investments are up 18% today. Okay. You're not going to get that just sitting talking to an insurance advisor on insurance only. Oh what, by the way, rates are going down. We can, this is a good time for you to refi. And when we do refis, guys, we are the only company who offers split payment refis. What do I mean by that? Okay. If you have a mortgage, you pay on the first of the month, $900. We'll take that mortgage at a wholesale rate APR, not retail, wholesale rate APR, split into two payments. That's $450 and $450, and your term gets cut down by 30%. So that's a 30-year mortgage that automatically drops to 21 years just by splitting the payments. Why are we doing this? Because we're not a mortgage company. We offer mortgage. We are a financial solutions company, total financial health. We want you to own a own home, but we want you to get out of that home as fast as possible so that mortgage money you're paying can go towards building your tangible assets as far as for investments. Okay. And so basically, this is where we show now when we sit down, basically building their financial house. We're showing their current spending, available funds, and these are all of the things that they stand. These are what they need to do in order to meet the goals that they're giving us. So again, goals is important. If you don't have a goal, we can't. No one can help you. But we work with them on every one of these accounts. Okay, and these are basically, this is kind of like an income what if that we show them. If you paid out how to pay off your debt even sooner. So hey, if you did an extra $1,000 on top of what you're doing with this here, you'll be out of debt 2 years, 3 months earlier, or in this case 44 years. You would avoid an additional $652,000 in interest just by adding $1,000 in addition. You can save more for retirement with that. That $1,000 a month more turns into $4.5 million instead of the 3.8 or so. Other goals at $1,000 at a rate of return is an additional $63,000 for other goals, whether it's an emergency fund, education, vacation, and as well as other benefits. Hey, you want to, do something you love to support your favorite charity, community, church, however we want to do. And here's one of the things that we do that I talk to people, especially those who are in the church, who love their church and support their church. We work with them in saying, hey, when it comes to beneficiaries, how do you value your church? Oh, I love my church. Okay. Malachi 3 goes into the details of what it means to give to the church. And so because of what we do, working with people, not just on life insurance, but changing people's lives through the church, through their church, they basically write policies for them where they're giving their church 10% or 5% as a beneficiary to, cause. They're all going to pass one day. So what happens is now the church that is one who's always who's on the regular is having funerals, people passing away, and in this case, and on a normal, they might get maybe $500 in terms of people donating and sewing on the accord, or $1,000. Now they're getting $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 for every person of their church that passes away. It flushes the church with money. Now the church can now do all of the things that it's in its mission to actually fulfill it. They can be a blessing to the communities. They can help one another. The pastor's mission, the people's mission, what they want to do, their money and their heart now are matching, all because we've shown a way of turning the trajectory of your money. That's it. Changing the trajectory of it to now your money and your heart can now meet for the first time. So whether you want to earn, and so for others, and in this case here, people say, some people, I ask them, at the end of sitting down with them, I say, hey, listen, I would be remiss to ask you guys, based on the presentation and everything we did right now, where would you rate yourself when it comes to helping people and making some extra money on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being not my thing, 10 being, oh man, I love it. And whatever they tell me is basically where we going. Some people say, oh, I'm like a 5. I say, okay, you know what? That's problem. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you. I just want to let you know up front, I'm never going to talk about this again. Okay, fair enough. If they're like, oh man, I'm in an 8. Awesome. Well, okay. Well, here, I would love to talk with you at another time to share more of what we do and how we're helping people. Okay. Why am I doing this, guys? Because I'm only one person. All righty. And when it comes to booking my schedule, I'm talking to people. I can only see so many people at so much in so much time. And as a result, I need help. And so, and I'm not in a place of desperation where it's just like, oh, I'm looking just for anybody, but this is like, hey, look, if there's a match of somebody that's out there that's saying, hey, I'm studious, coachable, I want to help people, I want to make some extra money in this account. I'd love to learn more about this. And in that case here, I say, I would love you to learn more. I would love you to be of help to where you can help me, because there's more people out here that are in financial need than I can handle on my own. And I hate looking at a list where I have 500 people I got to call and I can't get past 50 because I'm getting more people coming in. And now I got all of these people that have yet to have been addressed, or I'm talking to somebody, I'm calling them like 3 or 4 months later. And it just kind of feels like the momentum of everything just kind of dwelled down. So I have a team where it's like, man, here, I have leads. Contact these people. Let's contact these people. Okay. And the great thing about it is it's all done in a way where it's trained, scripted. You're not doing anything based on your ability or anything. It's all solo in a matter of what we show you what to do. Very, very simple. We have, and like I said, as a result, the objective of that objective is and being fulfilled, we can fulfill that objective. And so whether you're, like I said, are looking to earn a little extra money part-time, start a business, we offer freedom to make those decisions. Freedom from your job if you want to fire your boss, freedom to be a business of yourself, or let's say you're already in business and you say, I want to add a financial arm to my business. I deal with people in money. And one of the things that my mentor always says that I said I'm going to have to take, he says, right now you're in a business, you're already selling hamburgers. The easiest thing to do when you're selling hamburgers is offer a fry and a Coke. That's the easiest thing. So this is not taking away from what you're already doing, but this is something, hey, an arm we have that we can do in addition, which is only a benefit to that business person because they can retain more clients. They're gonna that sets them apart from their competition, multiple things. Okay, but I want to move on from there. Just getting back onto the matter of the F&A, and what we show here is we showed them this is all the information they entered. So if there's ever a case in the matter like did you enter the right information? And it's just like, hey, I'm showing you this is all the information where you've entered. Now, if I put something in here, any of these numbers incorrectly, let's go over it and let me know. And if it's wrong, I'll make the adjustments. And when we make the adjustments, I'll rerun the analysis and it'll be updated. Okay. And so these are just basically just the resolutions, the analysis for everything we're putting in, data they entered, and on the back end of things. And, as a result, we're all set. And at this point, let's see. Am I back from let me stop sharing my at this point, they're in. It comes down to just one or two things. I ask them, so listen, because I do this for free, because people say, well, if you're doing this for free, what's the catch? Because I do this for free, there's two things that I do ask in return, if that's fair. One, if I put together this plan and you're like, Tim, man, this is awesome. Wow, I never saw this before. This is really, really cool. I love this. Awesome. I would ask that you be willing to move forward with me. Fair enough. Fair enough. Two, I always offer them a way out. Hey, if I put this together and you're like, man, this is some crap. I saw something like this before. I'm straight. Your breath stinks, whatever. I'm not going to ask them of that. Usually they kind of laugh and stuff in this case. And as a result, I'm giving them it's the way out because, hey, I want this to be based on you. And the second thing I would ask them, I say, listen, if you see this as a benefit, for you, I ask that you don't keep this a secret. Sound right? Sounds fair? Sounds fair. And that's it. And now the matter is we're going to now put together the game plan. This is what we're going to do. So here's the next step. And we're going to work with them, getting things open, getting accounts opened, getting these things started. And I'm going to work with them all the way through from point A to point Z. And the greatest part about this is the financial literacy tool that they're going to get. So when we sit down, they're going to be learning something new about finances, new about their money, not so that they can go around and school people, but so that they have a trust and a confidence about this, that they know this is right. Because I tell all of my clients, hey, you get into conversations with people, don't argue, don't school, let them know, come talk to me. Okay. Not anything, just come talk to me. I'll handle it from there. And fair enough. This is, again, the reason why we have what we have. This is why we are averaging 50,000 new clients a month. This is why the company is rated number 1 in life insurance. These aren't numbers that people just paid or we pay people money to do, because we are doing something that is endearing, something that people need, and actually fulfilling these needs. People are coming over. And so it's been a huge blessing for me. It is a blessing that I can be a blessing to others. And I want to take this matter that for everybody that is on this call, everybody that's on YouTube, I want to continue to be a blessing to you as well. Let me say this before I close. When it comes to finances, and we all know this, we got to build relationships. No one is ever going to be comfortable talking to somebody that's considered a stranger. I know I wouldn't personally. Okay. Selling a life insurance policy does not require a relationship. That's a transaction-based matter. But when we get into the matter of these financial needs matters, it is a relationship-based matter. And so I make it a priority to establish a relationship with those that I look to be my clients. And so whether it's we talk on the phone for about 10, 15 minutes just to get to know one another, get an idea of what their interests are in this matter, and going from there is the start. But the whole point of the matter is we get the ball rolling. If it's, hey, I just gave them a call and we just talked and we talk a little bit, but building that relationship. They're asking questions. Salesmen don't like questions. So you call them and ask questions, it frustrates them. Most of the times you ask them a question, they're going to give you the same answer over and over again. Okay. My account is no, I love questions. Write as many questions down. I tell my clients all the time, write them down on paper, just in the case that when we sit down, you forget and you're like, I can't remember what I was going to say. Write them down. When we talk, ask questions. So allow me to endear you with wisdom, knowledge and wisdom on finances. Any question that you have, we have nothing to hide. My objective is not to sell anything. My objective is to make sure that your finances is in the best position possible. I sit down with people and take a look at everything. I say, listen, you have an amazing plan. You're great. You don't need me. Consider it that you got from a second opinion from a professional that you're going good. That is the difference. And if there isn't, hey, I'm showing you apples to apples. Here's some fallacies of what you currently have that we can address. Okay. And, as a result, for your best interest, I'm pretty sure you weren't aware of these things, and I want to help you with these things. And then we go from there. But again, my business is a relationship-based business. So why am I saying all of this, guys? Because I know I've been on here for, a few times. You've heard me speak, but as a result, and in this case, you guys don't know me. And so that block of saying, well, yeah, it's all great, but I don't know him, is still there. I wouldn't expect anybody to say, hey, can you help me in that case here? But we got to start taking baby steps. And so what I would say with that is, guys, Dr. Derek has my information in the chat, my phone number in the chat. I'm available, all day. If I'm unavailable at the time, I'll let you know. I'll be right back with you shortly, or let me another time that you are available so we can sit down and talk and chat. Get to know you, get to know your customer. Or like what I say, what Dr. Benny says, which is what we follow as well, the know your customer rule, KYC. And so I want to thank you guys for this time. It is always a pleasure. I hope that everything that I shared with you was what was essential and very helpful. And listen, even if you didn't learn and retain 80% of it, you don't have to, because the objective of what I do is repetition. You hear it, you learn something new every single time until you become more, just like everything else. So again, Dr. Derek, I thank you. Love you guys. Jackie, Sister Jackie, Dr. Benny, everybody, it was a pleasure. It is a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you ever so much. King Timothy Ferguson Jr. Really appreciate that. Was an awesome presentation on finances. And we do have Queen Violet with her hand up already. So over to you, Queen Violet. Go ahead. You have to unmute yourself.
Okay, there you go. Yes, you're talking USA. Anything in Canada along the same line? Hello? No?
You have to unmute yourself.
Okay, sorry. Okay, I can mute. No, actually, Queen Violet, thanks for asking that. Yes, we do have business in Canada as well.
Okay. That could prove interesting. The only catch is I'm 72, so it's a little late.
Hey,
Starting
you're still alive. You're still alive, which means you have something available to where you can do something. The great thing is once you start to get money rolling and working on its own, you don't have to be alive for it to stop. If you have children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, that money as an estate is going to be theirs. And so it's never too late until we're gone.
So do I talk to you, or do you have someone up here?
No, you can talk to me, and I can you can talk to me first, and then I can connect you with somebody with my team, going from there based on your specific interests.
Okay. Thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, please give me a call, or shoot me a text give me a couple of available times that you would be able to take a call for about 10-15 minutes. Just shoot me a text on that in my phone, and
It's
I'll
good.
reach out.
It's going to take a lot longer than 10-15 minutes.
Hey, that's fine. I only say 10-15 for the sake that I respect other people's time.
Okay. Thank you. Have a great
You're very
evening.
welcome. Thank you. You too.
All right, all right. Anyone else? Queen First Lady Dr. Benny. Go ahead.
At least I raised my hands up. Isn't that something? At least I tried. First, I want to say excellent presentation. Thank you so much. Queen Violet made a statement about her age. When it comes to this life insurance, if you are older, do you pay more money?
Thanks for asking that, Queen Dr. Benny. Yes, as we get older, we do the cost of insurance does go up because our risk goes up, and so it's really really essential. If you have children, younger children, I'd say to them, get insurance now because there is a high cost of waiting. And so other things that are associated to it, and why the risk goes up as we're getting older is because, I believe Sister Jacqueline can account, is that when we're older, we're more prone to chronic illnesses. We have more problems, and so that leads us to being high risk. Now, women are less high risk than men are, but these are the case matter, and I believe Sister Violet says she's 72. So on the insurance side, she would not be qualified for the life insurance because life insurance ends at age 70 for the term up to age 80. But for most individuals that we work with who are older, they do have tangible assets. And what we do is we work with them in their tangible assets to help them become self-insured very, very quickly.
Can I make a comment?
Sure.
I do have $150,000 life insurance. Are you saying that it stops at 80?
No, thanks for asking that question. Our term policy, we have it goes up to 35 years. And so those who are in their 60s approaching retirement, based on the age they have, at least they can get up to 15 to a 10-year policy. And so age 70 is like the cutoff of that. Now, if they get the policy at those times, we have what do we call decreasing term to age 100. So they can get that policy and they can keep the policy to age 100. But if they're past the 10 years, they would not be able to qualify for a life insurance policy.
Okay, so I understand that it is valid until I die. So, even if
yours sounds like final expense, whole life. Whole life is life insurance, age to 100.
Oh, okay. Hopefully, I don't live that long.
But we would like to see what I would like to see what you have to see what we can do in regards to investments, because I know whole life has a cash value applied to it, where the cash value is supposed to match the value of the life insurance at age 100. Problems with cash value is that one, it's not your money. You can take it out, but it's a loan. You have to, and if you don't pay that back, they subtract it from the death benefit.
Exactly.
When you pass, your family does not get the cash value. They either get the death benefit or the cash value. They don't tell you this when you initially get it.
Yeah, I'm learning that there's a lot of things these days that sound really great until you sign up for it, and then you find out, oh, wait a sec, you didn't tell me that. I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
And
and it's unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate. The life insurance industry, I consider, is a very wicked industry because of the
well,
fact that they don't tell people these things, and this is something that people should know.
I got it 32 years ago, so it,
Yeah,
you know, at
yeah.
30, at that time, I'm what, 40? Nothing makes sense then. Anyway, we'll
Well,
talk.
yes, definitely. We'll talk.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
King Timothy, you make us to understand that, well, for the life insurance, that there are certain life insurance that ends at, let me say, 100. So if I die at the age of 120, then what happened?
You won't have life insurance. It expires at age 100. Yeah, you better have
Okay,
some money.
okay, hold on. So let's say if I was paying up to 100, then I don't die. Then 120, I die. What happened?
That insurance and everything expires at age 100.
Eh,
Think about it like you drive. You have a vehicle where the warranty expires at 100,000 miles, and you're at 200,000 miles.
All right.
This is the reason why it's very, very important that we do not focus on life insurance, but we focus on total financial health. Because the thing that you should be doing is investing and building a tangible portfolio, so that when you're age 100, 104, you have way more than enough money to be able to bury yourself and to be able to give back to your family. And that's the objective. If we show people that, I show younger people that, hey, at $75 a month, you open up a Roth IRA at $75 a month at a 9% rate of return. That's $900 a year. That's about $39,000 totally contributed by retirement. They'd have over $300,000 invested by that time. Way more than the $100,000 life insurance policy. If they made that 75 was $150, that's close to that. That's more than $750,000.
Wow.
So when we put the numbers on paper, and you see the numbers and you look at them, you can't ignore it. You can't say, okay, this is that. You'll see that these things don't make sense. The reason why they sell those kind of policies is because the insurance salesmen make much more money on it. They make way more money on it, But like I told you, our objective is not to make money. Our objective is to help people. And so being able to help you and doing things in a way so that you're better off. Because like I said, yes, age 100, you have nothing now. It's like that warranty's expired. So everything that goes wrong in the car, you got to come out of pocket. But let's say if you had now something that was despite the warranty, you actually had money built up to where, okay, I have a funnel to be able to fund my car expenses. Then hey, I'm okay. Excuse me.
Thank you so much. I wouldn't take too much of your time, but we really
No
appreciate.
problem.
Look, wait. Sometimes some people, they buy the life insurance and they don't inform their relatives, right? So let me say, if I die and my relative, they don't know that I have the life insurance, it means that's it, right?
Dr. Benny, that's a very great question. I'm glad you asked that, because yes, this happens all the time. Mother passes, grandmother passes, and the family's going into their house looking for that life insurance policy like a needle in a haystack, because you can't call the company and say, hey, my mother died, we need the money. You're locked out. They were like, we don't know that. We don't know who you are. We need the life insurance number. We need whatever. And so what I do specifically is, with anytime I eat, especially sitting with older people, I always ask for, contacts and referrals. I always ask for beneficiary, contingent beneficiary, and 2 emergency contacts. as referrals. And these are non-negotiables of people that we need to contact and sit down with. And when I reach out to them, they'll reach out to them and then put me on the phone and say, hey, your grandmother is opening up this life insurance policy or whatever this is. She's listing you as the beneficiary. I want to set a time where I can sit down with you for about 25 minutes to tell you what you are being listed as, who I am, and how you can get my information. Because if you have my information, you now have access to that.
Thank you. I appreciate this. So the time will come, I will talk about it. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your presentation. Thank you for coming. We hope to see you again. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you guys very much. Thank you.
King Dr.
All
Derek,
right.
Dr.
Wonderful. Nice. Wonderful. All right. We do have Queen Yvonne Reed. Unmute yourself, Queen Yvonne.
Yeah,
Okay, doke.
I was just telling him I have a insurance with Prime America.
Okay,
You hear me?
so you have one with Prime. Well, maybe I need to let him take a look at it.
Is that the one he have, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I have one with Prime America for many years now. I was just letting him know, you know?
Okay.
All right.
Don't forget the
Okay,
numbers
cool.
on the flyer.
Is
So
the
that
numbers? Where is it?
it's on the flyer that Dr.
The
Derek
flyer that you
posted.
click on the link.
Oh, and the link. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Right. His information is on that flyer.
Okay.
So just give him a call
Yes.
and he'll take a look at it and see if
Yes.
it's
Yes.
okay.
Thank you.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Where's the link?
His
Where is the link?
information on the
The one you
flyer.
sent
On
to
the
me,
flyer.
right? Right, Dr. Derek?
Yes.
Okay.
The flyer that I sent to your Queen Violet, and you click on the link to join this meeting. All his information is on that flyer.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, doke. All right. All right. Anyone else? Anybody else? Okie dokie. I guess everybody is good to go. All right. So, thank you all very much. Really appreciate it. And at this time, we're just going to ask Queen Jacqueline Warner to give her final.
And yes, thank you so much, Dr. Derek, and thank you, King Tim Ferguson Jr. for that amazing presentation regarding our finances. And thank you for that analysis. And thank you for your answers to the questions that was asked. Because I wanted to know too, at 95, I guess that's it. And you don't get no money. So, but you let us know that investment is also a choice. So thank you so much. I look forward to talking with you about some of those things. Well, my closing thoughts this evening to all my brand ambassadors. Cancer is not just a disease. We have concluded that it's not genetic. We concluded that it's a metabolic issue. And it only takes place when fermenting, no oxygen is getting into the cell per se. So cancer is not just a disease, it is a warning about what we eat, what we breathe, and how we live. Now, Mr. Otto Warburg showed us that cancer is preventable, but it requires knowledge and action. And if we don't take action, then we will perish. You know, our Heavenly Father in Hosea chapter 4, verse 6 says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." And it's not like yesterday when our parents didn't know and they couldn't teach us and now we don't know and we don't know where to find the information. It's not available, but now it's available. It's at our fingertips. I call YouTube the second Bible. You find anything you want there. Nothing is hidden anymore. We have more than access to everything at our fingertips. So today we have the knowledge. Now we must act. So we can choose oxygen, which is the most important nutrient of them all. We could choose life, like Queen Dr. Benny will say, because we want to enjoy the apples. We want to be around for our grandchildren. We want to enjoy the abundant life that God has ordained for each and every one of us. So let's choose prevention and let's start today. So I thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for your support and enjoy the rest of the webinar. Thank you, Dr. Derek. Back to you.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Jacqueline Warner. Go ahead, Queen Yvonne Reed.
No, I was just telling him about I joined the insurance. That's it.
Okay, though. All right,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I think he has dropped off. All right. So as I said, his information is in the chat and in the description in WhatsApp, in YouTube. Is in the description in YouTube. So if you are on the YouTube, his information is right there in the description. So you can get that information there. And yes, good evening, everyone on the YouTube, Queen Donna and everyone. All right, wonderful. And so we just want to thank each and everyone for joining us today. And people are saying thanks and so on. Wonderful presentation and all of those good stuff in the chat on YouTube. So thank you all very much. Those on YouTube especially. We will be closing it down on this side, but you remember we do have after party for those who are here. And please remember that Queen Yvonne Finn and Queen Dr. Yvonne, the Yvonne duo, they do have a meeting 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on a Friday. So please join them. And then, of course, on Sunday, Dream Team revives again on October 5. And I think our First Lady, Queen Dr. Benny, is going to kick things off in October. So please join us on Dream Team Sunday at 12:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And then next week we'll do it all over again. So thank you very much for joining us. Really, really appreciate. And you, everyone, please have a wonderful, blessed evening.